Okay, we're live.
Live from the west side.
So you went back out to the woods, I heard you.
Oh, yeah, always, every week.
Every week. Did you get ran out?
No, I don't get run out. No, they quit growling at me, so I think they're pretty used to it. I think if they want to keep getting their apples and oranges and stuff like that, they better be nice to me.
Hey, Chad. First one up.
All right. Hello, Chad.
Yeah. Yeah, Christy will be here in a couple minutes. She's just getting some drink.
All right. All right.
Drink,
so while we're going and stuff, you know, I mean, me and you have tossed around the possibility of just like a scripted intro at the beginning of every episode and stuff like that. And
Hi, Squatchaholic. Thank you again.
We've tossed around the idea of it and stuff, and well, I don't know. I mean, we're kind of in agreement here that we'll leave it up to the podcast if they want us to do a scripted intro or just wing it like we do. You know, just free and just running with it. You know, so
yeah. Just like, you know, how we always say, oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? We just kind of just whatever we say, whatever comes up. But maybe I was thinking we were talking about just maybe saying like the same kind of intro every time we come on at the beginning. And then that way we cover most everything, you know. And, you know, if we wing it, then we may not say, oh, hi, how are you? Or you know, we might even forget about the guest if we didn't do it.
Right.
Who knows?
But before we get going here and stuff, just want to say hi to people in the chat. So hello, Chad, Squatchaholic, one of our moderators. We got Parkway in the house. Susan Robertson, she hangs out quite a bit. And I think this is the first time I've seen Rick.
Yeah,
Rick Purple Hobbit here.
Yeah,
awesome. Glad you can join us, brother. Awesome. You know. So
cool, yeah,
that's good. So
I know, yeah, he's all
well. Do we want to tell people who our guest is tonight, or we want to leave it a surprise?
Well, some of them know, but it's Christy Sci-Fi.
Christy Sci-Fi tonight. Cryptid 559. Glad you can be here. Yeah, we got Christy Sci-Fi tonight. I'm sure you've all seen her making her rounds on the old YouTube platform and
the Bigfoot Explorer, right?
Yeah.
So she has her own podcast over there, but she's wanting to come over here.
Yeah. She's more than welcome. Come on anytime and stuff. You know what I mean?
Or anytime.
I know. I've chatted with her and stuff on several live shows. You know what I mean? Back and forth. You know, saying hi and but we never really gotten into too much depth with her experiences or how she got into this topic, and that is what we're gonna delve into tonight.
Right.
It'll be really cool. You know, it's cool to see women out there doing it too. You know what I mean?
I think it's pretty cool. I never knew that was that many women doing it now. I didn't know before. You know, I started doing this on online. You know, I was doing it online before.
Right. Well, I think when me and you started and stuff like that, Christy, there we go.
Wait, hold on.
It's like a jet just flew by.
It was a truck driving by.
I don't understand why this ain't working for me.
Is it sound? Or your Bluetooth? Oh, there's Pappy Two Bears. How you doing?
Pappy Two Bears.
I don't understand. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank God. Technical difficulties here.
My goony.
I'm just as bad. I mean, when it comes to computers, if we don't get along at all, and if it wasn't for Lewis, I wouldn't be up here every Sunday. So
I know. Oh, we're not live, are we?
we are.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Everybody
My
heard
goodness.
you. Everybody heard you. Right. This is the real Christy?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the real Christy.
The one and only Christy Sci-Fi.
Yes, the one and only Christy Sci-Fi.
That is right. So glad to have you on the show.
No problem.
Yeah, really.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. So
sorry, I'm trying to get my stand to work, but it's not working.
Just give me your address. I'll ship you one.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Yeah. Yeah. You're all right. We could see you from here up. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm so short. I'm sitting on a beanbag on my balcony. And please, everybody, excuse the noise. Y'all have seen me on Bigfoot Explorer. They got traffic, and I'm sorry about the noise reduction on here.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
For it.
I'm the same way. I'm sitting on my deck, and my neighbors have this really annoying parakeet. So, you probably see my mute button go on quite a bit, but we're all good. We're all good.
You. Well, how's the California weather treating y'all? Nice.
Wonderful. It's in the low 80s almost every day now. So,
but we're not bragging, though. You know what I mean?
No, we're not bragging.
We don't want to make you guys feel bad over there. I know the weather's not always good over there.
It's hot here. It's definitely, it's like 87 degrees. Excuse me.
Girl, stop driving by.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, like put like barricades out in front of the street.
The street is closed down for the next hour.
That's what I'm saying. Put a Bigfoot out there, and people would stop and be like, "Oh, is that who I think it is? It's Michael Jordan." Oh my
so I mean, me and you have conversed back and forth in several different people's live chats and stuff like that, saying hi and everything for a few years now. And I have been so curious. How did you get into this topic?
How did I get into Bigfoot?
Yeah, was it an experience or was it just curiosity?
Well, it goes back. I'm not going to bore people, but I'm going to make it short and sweet. When I was little, I liked The Legend of Boggy Creek. That movie, since I was 4 when I went and seen it at a drive-in. Me and my dad always would watch horror movies, sci-fi flicks when I was little. It was just me and my dad, And there goes my dog. I'm sorry. Shut up. So that's what began the journey of liking Bigfoot. It's something that always intrigued me since that time, since I was 4. That's where it all began.
So it was a movie that made a serious impression on you.
Yes.
And you looked at it from a different angle, said, you know what, there's got to be something to this. And it stuck with you your whole life.
Yes. Nothing. It wasn't scary to me. Like, people are like, oh, it's a monster. It's a creature. No, I didn't think of it like that. I just was like, I asked my dad, I looked at my dad and said, that's a big hairy man. My dad said, yeah. And I said, he's not a monster, but he's like scaring people, but it's not a boogie monster. And my dad said, no, it's not a boogie monster. We don't know what it is. So I've always remembered, me asking my dad that, So
that's freaking awesome, because normally people over here have an experience that they couldn't explain, or just out of, they ran across someone's, video on YouTube, which, caused curiosity. But yours is from the Legend of Boggy Creek. That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, it's that movie made such an impression on you. You know what I mean?
It did.
And you didn't see it as a scary movie. You saw it as a fascination. So that's really cool. So there you go, people. That's how she got into to Bigfoot. So
now tell us about the first thing that happened to you out there. Like
the first experience. Okay, well, everybody knows I'm associated with Bigfoot Explorer Scott Owens and Patrick Vaughn. We're a team down here, all three of us. But before Patrick had started in with us, it was just me and Scott. Me and Scott, come on the podcast and do a couple of podcast shows, and we did a couple of expeditions by ourselves. And the very first time that I went out with him, we had got out there to the woods. He found this spot through a person that had an encounter there. So he, did some research on it, and he says, look, we're going to go to this one spot and, check it out. I said, well, okay, cool, let's go. So we went out there, and as soon as we pulled up, I mean, just the area in itself was just beautiful, and as we walking along, I happened to look down, and I saw a footprint in water. And I said, Scott. He's like, yeah. I'm like, come see this. He looked down. He saw the footprint. Well, of course, Scott is a debunker. He likes to debunk things. And I'm one to jump the gun and be like, yeah, it's a footprint, all excited, But, of course, you have to come up to a determination whether it is a footprint or if it's not a footprint. So you got to sit back and figure that out. But it was a footprint because it was deep in the soil. It wasn't the size of a man, and it wasn't a boot. So, we took pictures and stuff. So we walking along, and then I started seeing tree structures on the ground.
Oh, nice.
And then, all these different glyphs, like A's. Yeah, I saw sticks like it's like an H with two sticks going across. I mean, just seeing different things like that. I'm going, okay. Well, Scott says, well, we got to debunk that. I'm like, well, I'm not a professional at stuff like this, but I can tell you something. Nobody's going to place that in the back of the woods that far back. And two, something with an opposable thumb that can grab things is going to do stuff like that.
Right.
Now, you take it on your level and you think about that,
Yeah. Exactly.
So then we get further back in the woods, and I see this X. I said, Scott, look at that X. He goes, yeah, look at it. So we walk up to it, and there's another stick. And then I've been noticing this too. There's another stick that's sticking out like this in front of the X. I've been finding a lot of sticks shoved in the ground like that. I'm talking about deep in the ground, probably about that far down. You know what I'm saying? When you pull the stick out, but I try not to touch the structure. I don't do that. But Scott, of course, he goes and touch the structure. I'm like, don't touch that. I wouldn't touch it if I was you. As soon as he grabbed that stick, about 2 seconds later, you hear whack.
Oh man! I mean, they were watching you guys.
Oh yeah. I was like. And he's like, did you hear that? I'm like, yeah, I heard that. And I told you not to touch the structure. So then after that effect, we walked around, and I saw some more structures, took pictures and stuff like that. Then I turned around, and at the end of the video, they can hear us talk. We don't have to yell and scream. First of all, they know what your intentions are when you get out in the woods. Second of all, they got good hearing, they got good smelling, and they got good sight. But of course, at that time, I didn't know what I know now. I'm howling out Indian words to them. I'm howling out Napisu, which means no harm. Nahalio means hello. And Aishi Esteima, which means friend of Bigfoot. As soon as I said that on a second go round, excuse me, I heard crack.
Hey,
I looked at Scott and said, "You heard that?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard that."
Here, where's the car keys?
So that was the first trip into the woods.
Wow, that's pretty cool, though, man.
That's one heck of a first trip into the woods. Yeah. Let me tell you, I'm surprised you went back out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but, I'm not scared.
Oh yeah, I'm not. You know,
I'm not scared.
I'm scared.
I'm not scared.
Lewis refuses to have a sighting. He don't want it. He's into it, but he don't want to see one. And I mean, I want to play poker with him. You know what I mean? I want to sit down, have a game of poker with him. You know what I mean? Like I'm the same way. They don't scare me. You know what I mean?
No, they don't scare me.
But because you know, now that's good. That's the way I want. That's what I feel. And then once I see them, I will be scared. But I think they're going to be ugly. They're big and ugly.
They're not. Look. Okay, everybody has their different perceptions of Sasquatch. Okay, and I don't judge anybody on their encounters. I don't judge anybody on who they are. You've had an encounter, of course. Me, I like to listen to every story. It's a fascination to me.
Yep.
I like to know what has happened to the people during the duration of when their encounter was. You know, what happened, how it went. You know, if it was aggressive, it was non-aggressive. Which I really don't like the aggressive ones, but I do like the ones that you know you walk and you see, and it looks at you and it carries on. You know,
yeah,
that's right.
That's the kind of encounter that I would love to have.
Yeah,
you know? But I was very close to him.
Yeah, I don't doubt. You know, like you said, they can sense your intentions. You know, and it's like you got to remember that is their home, and you wouldn't want someone coming into your home and doing all kinds of stupid stuff. So why should you go into their home and do all kinds of stupid stuff? You know what I mean? And I think that if you go out there knowing of them and you let them know that, yes, I know of you and I'm not here to hurt you, they understand that. And they'll give you little bits that they think that you can handle, like that wood crack. You know what I mean? And they'll test you, you know, they'll keep going a little further, and ultimately at the end they'll walk out and they'll show themselves, you know, if they feel that you can handle it. So they're a lot smarter than people think, that is for sure. I mean,
Matt is so funny. You see Matt Niven, the one eye. I love that guy. He is hilarious. I'm sorry, I'm not going to bust out a laugh.
Matt is crazy. He's a typical crazy Aussie. I've known several of them throughout my life, and it just seems to be they're great. The Aussies are great, and we love Matt. So I'm glad he's here.
I don't want to change the subject, but I'm going to tell you something. They got a wonderful group of people that I have met since I've been into Sasquatch.
Yes,
I really talk to some people on a daily basis, and I keep in touch with others because, you know, everybody has things in their lives that they're busy and that they're doing. So I don't like to invade, but sometimes I get bored and I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? You know? But I just want to say to the people that they know who they are. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for being a part of my life.
You're welcome.
I agree with that completely. Lewis was actually, when I got into this whole thing and stuff too, I think like 10 years ago, I think Lewis was the first channel I found in Southern California. And he was one of the first people I subscribed to.
Oh, Survivor Lewis back then.
Survivor Lewis back then, yeah. And I mean, look at us now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people, you know, Crow Creek cryptids. You know, I talked to him. Boots on the ground. Squatchaholic is our moderator. You know what I mean? We got Matt Niven, Lady in the Woods. Pappy Two Bears was a freaking wise man of the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's great people out there. Yep. Absolutely wonderful people. You know,
Watching Alabama, you know, there's so many of them. And, you know, people don't appreciate, especially most of the people when they're doing the podcast. And when I was on Scott's show, I look down and I try to read the comments and, you know, tell the people hello. I don't block people out because they're the reason why podcasts are here, because they want to listen to people's stories. They are part of the show. They are part of it. You know?
Right.
Yep.
And you know, you have to appreciate that. You have to
absolutely.
You know?
We're all a big community and we all make it work. We're all parts of the team. You know what I mean? So, I mean, without the chat, we wouldn't have a podcast. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it all goes hand in hand and all gets tied together. You know what I mean? But it's a great community out there. Unfortunately, there are still some bad seeds, you know, but we get through it. You know,
you can't condone the bad people because you know what? They haven't looked into their heart or their soul. They haven't found the good and the positive in themselves. That's the problem, you know?
Right. You
got these people who troll and say ugly things. You know, I don't do that. I don't go bash somebody's stuff, and I'm not going to. You know what I mean? Like I told you, everybody has their own way of doing things. And, you know, kudos to people like that. Kudos. But, you know, you do what you do, and other people do what they do. And you appreciate that, you know?
Yep.
That's right. And at this point in time, you know, I mean, there is no wrong or right way to do this. It's all it's all theoretical, you know what I mean? Until we can get up there on a mountain and watch them like Jane Goodall did with the mountain apes, we don't know. We don't know. It's all filled with question marks. So all we have to go on are people's stories and people's accounts, such as you and, you know, Lady in the Woods and, you know, Parkway and everybody, you know what I mean? So why discredit it? You weren't there. You weren't there. You didn't witness it with them. So who's to say that they're lying? You have to take it for what it is, put it in the back of your head. And I've done that for many years. And it's funny because I'll have an experience and a couple years later, someone will have the exact same experience many, many states away from me. And I'm going, I found that exact same thing. How crazy, you know what I mean? So not only does it validate it for me, it validates it for them. You know what I mean? And
go ahead.
It doesn't, you know, there's no reason for the bashing. We don't know, you know what I mean? We weren't there, we didn't witness it, but we all have to take it into account, you know?
Exactly. I'm trying to sit up higher where you could see me.
I want to hear about the rock throw that happened to you.
Oh, well, that happened twice on two separate occasions.
I wasn't there for the next one, I guess. I didn't hear about that one.
Well, that was the one when we went to Arkansas. That's another story. So we went on expedition, Bigfoot Explorer. We was out walking around these big towers or whatever it was, and I'm happened to look down, and you know them soft rocks, them real soft rocks like they use for gardens and stuff, and you step in it and it leaves impressions. Well, they had that spread it out around these things. So I happened to look down and I seen footprints. So Scott and Patrick took off around the thing and he was looking around, and Scott was on the opposite side of me, and I said, look, Scott, there's footprints. So as Scott was looking down and he was doing his camera stuff, I heard a pebble being thrown at me. Like not at me, but like behind me. And I turned around and I looked at Scott. I said, "Did you throw a rock at me?" And he says, "No. Why?" I said, "I heard somebody throw a rock at me." So we howled out to Patrick, "Hey, did you throw rocks?" And he was far out. So, if he was on that side of the thing, I was on the opposite side. So how is he going to, you know what I'm saying, throw a rock that far back where he was?
Yeah.
So that was the first incident of a pebble being thrown at me.
You know what? Before I got into all of this and stuff, I used to, race downhill mountain bikes like very competitively. I was semi-pro, and I spent a lot of time out there, riding these trails. And this is before I had the Bigfoot bug. Well, we went camping up for a race, and I walked up like probably 5:30 in the morning. I woke up, had to pee really bad, so I walked up on this rock, and I'm peeing against this tree, and a little rock like bounced and hit me in the leg, and I never thought nothing of it. I'm going, oh, it's probably just a squirrel dropping, something, and it bounced and hit me in the leg. But it wasn't until 10 years ago where it's like, wait a second, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe something tossed a pebble at me, you know what I mean?
One of them I heard on her camera. That I think I've seen it or heard it when she walked by, and then something been thrown to her. I don't know which one it was. It's been a while.
that was I believe the big red expedition. I think that's what it was.
I think it was your first one that you went, right?
No, the second one.
Second one, okay.
The second one, yeah, because the first one was just me and Scott, if you remember.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So
like we've discussed, women in this field of interest, you know what I mean? And I mean, we got Boots on the Ground with Barb, we got Liddy in the Woods, we got Sisters of the Moon, we got you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you feel that women have a little bit better success than the men do? Because I know that's kind of a question going around.
Okay, it's an in between. It's an in between, in the middle answer, because women have the sensitive spot about them, and I believe they pick that up, and they know that we're female. And I don't know nothing about the tribes or the clans of how Bigfoot work, but this is only my perception. They keep the women together. The men go out, do the hunting and the watching and the taking care of everything. The women take care of the babies and stuff like we do. I think that if they see a female with men, I think that it gives them a question of, why is a female with two men? It's a curiosity factor.
Yeah.
What is she doing with these guys?
Yeah, the guys are bad. They're always carrying guns.
Yeah, kind of. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What is she doing? Because I'll fill you in as we get into the stories. So keep that in the back of your mind when we get into the other stuff. But that's my perception. I think women have a little bit more leeway than men. But then again, there's females that are close to the male side.
Territorial or something like that, or
they see a man, it's a different scenario with them, And if it's one male, if there's a bunch of men together, I believe that the Sasquatch are not gonna be bothered with people,
Yeah.
Because they don't like big groups. They don't like big groups of people. To me, that they'd see that would be trouble. If it's like maybe one or two men.
Yeah. And I think it's more easier for them to stand there and watch you for a while. Like they usually do.
Well, here's my theory on the whole, like big groups and stuff like that. I think when you're in one or two people groups and you have 4 Bigfoot around, You know what I mean? And one thing I've noticed over time is that where there's one, there's at least two more other than that one. So the one you're seeing at, the one you're looking at, there's going to be one to your right and there's going to be one to your left because their moves are very militaristic.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in a big group, you're outnumbering them and they feel threatened.
Exactly.
So when you're in one or two groups and they don't feel outnumbered, that's when they feel more comfortable to, I don't know, throw stuff at you or do wood knocks or, you know, howls or whatever. So
exactly. But okay, here's the second time a rock was thrown at us. Well, the last expedition we did when we went to Falco, Arkansas, they had like a thing going on with Keith Crabtree. He's the guy. He's related to the Crabtree boys that were in The Legend of Boggy Creek, and he also played the Sasquatch in the movie. Very, very, very nice gentleman. I mean, very, very nice. We really didn't have time to go early because that's when I wanted to get to meet some people that were out there. But of course we were doing an investigation on these people's property while we was out there. So we tried to make time to get out there, but we just didn't have it. And that's basically, you know, between both of that, I wanted to split it up and I wanted to go, you know. But as long as I got to meet a couple people, which I did, you know, not many because everybody else had left. But I met him and he's a very nice man. But while we was out there on these people's property, they got like an Indian, I guess it was like not Indian burial ground, but I think there was Indian stuff, and the landowner's husband had churned up the land, and she would go out and she would find arrowheads. So while the guys were talking and amongst themselves, me and her decided to go look for some arrowheads. And I wanted to find one because I've never had that experience, you know. So we looking and looking. Well, all of a sudden I hear, "Don't." And I looked up at the landowner's wife and I said, "Did you just hear that?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Something just threw a rock up at us." And from listening to stories and listening to some people, you take a rock and you throw it back. It's a juvenile that does that. The juveniles like to play games. And that's what I figured out.
Yeah, they do play games.
So I said, okay. So I picked up the rock and I said, "Ha ha, I'm throwing it back at you." So I threw it back in the same way that I thought it came from. And I went back looking for, you know, arrowheads. Well, guess what? It did it again. So don't. I looked at her and I started laughing, and I think she got a little bit kind of scared. So she's like, "I think we need to go back." I'm like, "Okay." So I picked up the rock and I threw it again at him, you know.
He's like, "Don't do that."
And then that night, Patrick decided that he was going to go get a drink out of the ice chest. Well, we inside and we're talking, and some of us are underneath the carport or whatever, and some of us are inside. So he comes walking back and he says, "You ain't gonna believe what happened." And we were like, What happened?" He said, "Something just threw a rock at me." I said, "Okay." Said it happened earlier. You knew that. Yeah. So we go out. Now they got a big rock pile, but you know, the rocks have been sitting there a long time. They were kind of pushed in the ground, you know. So we walking around and we're looking for the rock. So I found a rock that was out of place. And I said, "You think this could be the rock?" He says, "I don't know." So I threw it down back on the ground. He said, "Yeah, that's what it sounded like." And in that one area where I was looking, I didn't see no loose rocks except for that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I've got an experience with rock throwing. Unfortunately, I don't think mine was with the juvenile. Was up in an area and working my way up this trail, and something threw a rock at me. And as like you said, you know, it's generally the juveniles that do that, playing a game. So I picked it up and I laughed and I threw it back. Well, the rock it threw was about the size of a big marble. And I threw it back. Well, and then a rock about the size of a freaking small watermelon came lobbed out of the bush, and it was a little closer than the lip. All right, I'm cool. Sorry. So, and after that, I got a major growl and an instant branch break, and I'm like, okay, you don't want me to go any further, and I'm cool with that. I threw my hands up. I'm like, I'm not armed. I'm not here to hurt you. I just going that way, but you obviously don't want me to go that way. I'm out. And as I turned around, was heading back down the trail, I could hear it paralleling me on the hillside, all the way down the hill, all the way back to where I was probably 100 yards from the parking lot.
He's probably still wanting to play rock throw.
You know when they do that, you know what I call them? Bouncers of the forest. You know, like when you're in a bar and the bouncer escorts you out and he parallels you to the door. Well, that's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
Yeah.
Get out of my bar.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm out in areas and stuff, I know that they like the high ground, and I will deliberately walk down into the canyons, and you could hear them. They leapfrog each other. So you'll hear thump, 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 thump on the right side, and I'll keep going. And then they'll thump, 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 thump on the left side, and they almost leapfrog each other.
Yeah.
All the way down the ridge as you're walking down the canyon. It's really cool, but it's little nerve-wracking also. You know what I mean?
We're talking, and I noticed Christy laughing over there because she's doing what she does at her podcast. We'd be at them, Scott, and whatever his name is, and then she'd be over there. That was so funny, Pappy.
she's watching the chat as usual.
Yeah. She's like, I got it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I have to say this and stuff. I know we have the chat going on and stuff. And, you know, I apologize for, you know, me and Lewis, you know, for not getting into the chat and reading people's questions. But we're here to talk to Christy. So, you know what I mean? We're here to talk to our guests. So,
yeah,
you know.
That's right. I'm watching everybody what they're saying. I'm monitoring.
I noticed.
Yeah. But we got a great group of people in the chat, so I know I know there's nothing bad going on over there. So we got good
people. We got some awesome. That's what I was explaining to you earlier. Every one of those people that are in the chat room are awesome to me and to my heart in many ways. Believe me.
Yeah.
Just like Lewis.
Yeah. I would trust any one of them out in the woods with my life. That is for sure. You know. So.
You said you had a brunch or something, Christy, before, or what was it?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'll go down to that story. I've also had Aishan too, so that I'll throw that in the mix too. That was in. It was in. I'm trying to remember where the hell it was at. Kasachi Forest is where we went when we had the grunt. Me, Scott, and Patrick, of course, again on another expedition. We went out one night and we were sitting there. We had set up an experiment with a tent and some lanterns all around the tent. And we got in the tent, and Patrick's clacking the sticks and, you know, hooting and hollering and, you know, whooping and yelling like a bunch of fools, you know. That's the fun part of it, you know. That's the
cool.
the fun. Yeah, exactly. It's fun, you know. See what kind of responses you get. You go, you do any type of experiment to see what works, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we like sandwiched in this little bitty tent. So Scott cuts the netting and he's shining the camera out on every angle. And I'm sitting in the corner going, I hope Sasquatch does not grab me because I don't want to be taken in the corner of this tent. So we get out the tent and you don't do no more wood knocking because it seems like his theory is they knock certain times of the year, and it depends on which clan it is. It depends if they knock, if they don't knock, But anyway, we get up there. Patrick does a yell, and then I do a yell, and then he does something else, and I do a whoop, and he goes rah like that, and it's like, don't do that. That is the wrong thing to do. I wouldn't do. I'm sorry, but I don't do stuff like that. I just like whooping and yelling. That's about it. I don't try to make it aggressive,
Yeah.
But we did, and then all of a sudden we got this noise, and I'm gonna try to imitate it the best way I can. Scott does it better than me. It went bah, 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 bah. I learned that to scoff, like you said. Scott's face.
Pale white.
Face. Scott looked at Patrick and then looked at me. He says, "Did you hear that?" And I was just sitting there going. Patrick says, "That's a Bigfoot," and I'm like, okay. So I didn't like show fear or nothing. I'm just sitting there and waiting to see what the guys are going to do. And of course, we had recorders out, but we had one that malfunctioned, which was strange.
Yeah, it always happens when they're around.
The only one that we had, and of course, Scott turned off the camera during that duration because we didn't think something was going to happen. Expect the unexpected is what I always say.
Yep.
So that was. Somebody's revving up their car. I'm so sorry. Like Hot Rod City here in Louisiana.
Yeah, come to LA. It's 10 times worse.
Oh,
I can imagine. Y'all got low riders and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was the scoffing. And of course, during some of the expeditions, we've had whoops and we've had hollers, and Scott's got some stuff on recording that he's got. Like a long scream, where it imitates us, and it's pretty weird,
Like a hot area. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So my favorite part of the whole thing is on the Fouke trip, the Arkansas trip, by those people's property. When we was out there, we was on this levee, and there was like a whole bunch of us, And we're sitting there, and we in total darkness, no lights, no nothing, okay? I'm sitting here craving a cigarette. I'm going, can I light my cigarette now? Do we have to sit in total darkness? How long we got to do this for,
Yeah.
They're going to be curious whether what you're doing if you got lights on or not. They don't care. They want to know what you're doing. So we standing up, and we walking, and we kind of talking. Well, Scott's got his camera going, and then I happened to turn around. I seen eye shine, and I'm tapping on Patrick's back. I said, "Dude, there's eye shine," and of course, like I said, they debunking it. Oh, it's a light, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, that's not a light. That's eye shine because, like I said it before, it's a foot across, and the eyes were not shaped like normal. They was shaped like a cashew type deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well. This is the kicker. We walk around back out the woods, in the same set of woods where I saw the eye shine. Patrick and his other friend that's a tracker I saw the eye shine. It was like an amber color. I seen a little bit of red, but more amber, like orange color. Well, when they seen it, it was red.
They were mad at him. He gave you the amber and gave him the red.
Yeah. I personally never experienced the red eye shine. I've always seen white.
Me too.
Or like a butter yellow.
I just had two eye shines, two different nights.
And the butter yellow one freaked me out. It was in a very deep, dark bush, and it blinked at me.
Oh.
It was one of the small those real slow moving, like I see you and I don't care about you because I can wipe you out kind of blinks.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, all right. It was pitch black in this bush, and I went back to that bush, and I could see all the way through it. So whatever was in there filled up the entire space of that bush. So that was pretty incredible.
just remember, when you have the eye shine of like whites or like a light amber, that means they're cool and collective. The red eye shine means that they're pissed off.
Right.
So you remember that.
To me.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Is their eyes are kind of like a mood ring. You know what I mean? They change color depending on the mood.
Yeah.
So
depending on what's in your heart or what they feel from you. That's what I figure.
Yes. Right. They do. They do. They're people. This is another thing that I try to get out there that has changed me completely about everything. People call them monsters, creatures, beasts. They're not. They're people.
They're people.
They're a different type of people. You know.
Yeah.
They like us. They like us. They have kids. They get food. They use the bathroom like us. They do everything like us, but in a different way.
Right.
You know.
Right.
All I just ask is for people. You know, they want. Oh, we need evidence. We need to kill a Sasquatch. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
You know.
Leave them alone.
And they always say they're going to kill somebody. We need to kill them. Well, everybody in the world can do the same thing that the Bigfoot can. We can kill you too. Were you going to kill me? Were you going to kill me? You know, then you question, why does this person have a gun? You know what I mean? Don't have a gun if you're going to go kill a Bigfoot, because that means you can kill that guy over there. Not go ahead.
And you know what? I'm not saying this goes for everybody out there, because I'm sure 99% of the people in this chat room right now will agree with this, but everybody's, we want the truth, we want the truth, but when you show them the undeniable truth, because it doesn't fit their narrative, you're a hoaxer, you're a liar, you're a fake.
Yeah.
So
just the truth. It's not going to.
It's a revolving circle that just.
Yeah.
Unless that person has an encounter, they will know.
Yep.
And that's all the proof that they need.
Yep. Yeah. Just kind of dragging out there.
Unfortunately and stuff, I'm sure a lot of these people are just sitting in their basement, you know, I mean, on a computer, just going through YouTube, just spitting their garbage, you know what I mean? So never set a foot in their, you know, in the woods in their life, and don't want to, but they're gonna give you every opinion they got. So
yep.
You know.
Yep, exactly. And you know what? Most of the people that do that stuff, I don't have a care for them in the world. You know what I'm saying? I know they exist. I know they're out there. I know there are people. I respect them. Yep. I love them. And that's just the way I am. I'm gonna set out self-awareness. You know, I'm not about killing, and I don't intend. You know, and people who are ones that want.
Hey, you know.
Which eye though, Matt? The ones in your head or the one in your butt?
No, it's the ones that blinks or the one that stinks.
Because you know that his little icon there is the one in his butt. So which eye did she poke, Matt?
I wasn't the one that was tattooed.
I'll right back. I gotta go to the restroom real quick.
So you've obviously, I mean, I was gonna ask you this question. What do you think they are? And you've obviously answered it. They're people. I think they're an evolutionary offshoot of humans that managed to survive and learn to live without technology and live off the land, and they do it very well. And they've acquired very specialized abilities over generations and thousands of years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm out there, I talk to them, and I talk to them like people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I ask for permission. Hey, I'm back. I brought, more gifts. Can I come in and hang out with you and stuff like that? And I've never had an aggressive encounter. You know what I mean? I respect them. I respect that is their home. And I'm not, in one of my last videos, I really had to pee. And I'm like in the middle of their area, and I'm going, I'm not going to do it here. I really got to go. I'm not going to do it here. So I had to leave, go find a place to pee elsewhere, and then come back. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want someone coming into my house, peeing in my plant in the corner, then leaving. You know what I mean? So I think they thrive on respect. If you respect them, they will respect you. You know?
Yeah, and that's another thing about me is I feel the vibes. I feel the vibes of everything, you know?
Yeah, they'll definitely, you could feel the atmosphere.
Yes, you can.
If you're cool to be there, it'll feel like you're cool to be there. If they don't want you there, you'll get that chill up your spine, and you're like, yeah, we don't need to be here right now. We need to go. They'll exactly. Let you know what they want out of you. You just need to be smart enough to pick up on it.
Exactly. They give you telltale signs, believe me. Because one park that I did go to, which is called Chico State Park, we went out there for a small get-together with some people that are down here in the South. That it's not a very big, and it's all women, but, they were pretty cool people. But as soon as I stepped foot in that state park, dude, I got nothing but bad vibes. I didn't like it.
Yeah, there's one area and stuff that I've gone to and stuff where I felt like they wanted, as soon as I set foot in there and stuff, I felt like they wanted to rip my head off.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when you pack up and say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't intrude.
Yeah, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not armed. I get it, and I'm out. So, but this area I'm researching now and stuff, I get this warm, welcoming feeling. Like they want to interact with me and stuff like that. So, you got to pick up on the vibe. It's a total.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me turn on my light before it gets dark out here. And of course, we got the guy blowing his revving his car up. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. They're all out there. Rom, rom, rom.
Yeah, I know. I know she's doing a live show. Wag, 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 wag.
Maybe throwing the rocks that was thrown at her then.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that, y'all.
Oh, it's all right.
I apologize.
So how long have you been into this topic?
For the past 2.5 years.
Oh wow! So I've been doing this for 10 years. So you're just.
I'm just a beginner.
Well, you're a beginner with some amazing experiences, and it didn't take long for you to realize that they are real. So,
yeah.
And that probably has a lot to do with your attitude when you go out there, and they pick up on that. You know what I mean? And the fact that you didn't go out there thinking, oh, they don't exist. It's like, well, you went out there going, there's a possibility. Mm-hmm. And they proved to you that there was a possibility. And now you know for a fact that, well, yeah, they do exist, and they're very good at what they do out there. So.
Oh, one other thing I do have. When I went to Falk, I had actually went to Falk the first time, and I wasn't going to the festival. Lady in the Woods, D. Sims had put together a little thing for us to meet, and I happened to go. She had it from Thursday to Sunday, but of course I couldn't get off of work because I had 2 vacation days left, and I was going out of town the following weekend to do an expedition with Scott. So I wound up leaving Saturday and going out there. I drove 4.5 hours Saturday, made it up there, hung out with everybody. I mean, I met a whole bunch of people while we was out there. It was fun, And that's why I said I hope she does it again. But
hint, hint.
that was the second experience that I had. I wound up staying in a tent with Joe Parker, and that night that I got there, we were all outside talking, and Dee was hearing some stuff in the back, and she was telling me that they had experiences. Ramona Shearer had actually, the Sasquatch had walked up to her camper and looked into her window or her door or something. See, and I wasn't there that night. But the night that I got there, and I wound up going to lay down because everybody shut it down about 1:30. Pat's tent was in the back of us. I got in the tent, and I had Joe had a lantern, and I didn't know how to turn that freaking thing off. I was looking for the button to turn, and I'm saying, how the hell you turn this thing off? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, whatever. If the battery dies, the battery dies. So I put it down on the ground, at the base of the door, and I'm just laying there, and I can hear something crunch, crunch, crunch. So Pat turned around and said she saw a shadow walk up to the back of the tent. She could see the shadow do this, then slowly back away. Then she saw it come up to the tent again, and it slowly backed away. Then I believe on the third try, she seen the cone-shaped head. Man. And I'm just laying there in this tent. And I know from Dee said that she had brought somebody else out there, and they actually did something, I think they stepped on a tent or something. I was like praying to God that it wouldn't like crush my head. So I kind of like backed away from the thing of the tent, the wall of the tent. I'm not scared, but it was just different to actually hear something walking upright bipedally.
That's
you can
scary.
tell. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, it happened to me during the daytime, and I was gone. And I had another one come up behind me, ran like a chicken.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? You know what? They're just as curious about us as we are of them. And I feel that they are researching us just as we are researching them. They want to know more about us so they can protect themselves better. And we want to know more about them, well, just because we're stupid humans. But, it's funny because it's just we're both just kind of,
yeah,
we're watching each other. You know what I mean? So
Clash of the Titans, right?
right. You know what I mean? It's really cool. I mean, I think there are some aggressive ones out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think the majority of them are just curious. Yeah. And like I said, if you come out them in a way that they don't feel threatened, then they'll hang out and stuff, and they'll do stuff for you. So
pretty mellow for like 10 years. So when they did that was like after a while. So I know they wasn't aggressive, but I wasn't used to that. Somebody bipedally walking down the mountain, and I've been there for hours, 5 hours, sitting in the same spot, and it finally gets up and it's like 90 degrees. I don't think so. So I'm like, getting a head rush now, So it's like.
Well, just think about this too, and I'm gonna take your story back when you said about me asking me what do I think they are, and like you said, a different. I said that they're a different type of people. I don't think that they're apes. They're people.
Yeah.
But they've been here a long time, and they also had interactions with Indians, and that goes way back in history and stories.
Right.
My ancestors on my dad's side were actually Potawatomi Indians, but of course,
I've got an uncle that's Potawatomi.
Potawatomi.
Yeah. How funny.
That's cool.
I never even heard the name. That name.
It's from they from Oklahoma.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
But that's on my dad's side. I wish I could know the stories of, when you speak to the Indians, because this was their land. The white man came in and destroyed it, and that's where it comes to a point where Sasquatch don't like people, because we destroy the earth. We're destroying the forest. We're throwing trash on the ground. That's one of the things that gets to me. I try to pick up trash so much, and it pisses me off when I see people just riding along and throwing their boxes out the window. Why can't you take your behind and throw it in a garbage can? It's simple as that. You're making the earth sick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But how can we stop this? It can't be just one person to say, hey, it's got to be a chain reaction of effect,
Yeah.
Hey, throw your trash away. Keep things respectable. I could say that I wish I could go back in time, because you know what? A Sasquatch life is a lot easier than us.
Yeah, I would give everything up right now to live like them. That's for sure.
Exactly. Because you know why? Because they love the earth. They take care of the earth.
Yep.
You know what? It's kind of funny you bring up the whole trash thing and stuff, because I actually have the video. My next video I'm going to actually upload is I'm going to title it "More Human Irritation." And I'm walking down a trail, and I see this everywhere where I'm at, and it just really perturbs me. I'm walking down a trail, and I see a dog poop bag off the side of the trail.
Yeah, they're all.
Now they've taken the time to take the bag out, put their hand in, and pick up their dog poop and tie it.
Yep.
But then they just throw it on the side of the trail.
Right.
Now here's my point. Don't pick up the poop if you're not going to throw it in a damn trash can.
Yeah, it's like
let it biodegrade into the soil as natural, and don't put the plastic into the environment.
Right. Yeah, they're taking grocery bags away to give us doggy bags just to throw on the floor on the ground. Don't make no sense.
Exactly. Pick up your mess, and if you see somebody, that's just like me. When I'm at work, I sweep my parking lot up. I smoke cigarettes, but I do not throw my butts down anymore. I pick them up.
Yeah.
So this person throws napkins and trash in the parking lot. And I walked up to him and said, "Excuse me, can you pick up your bleep, 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 bleep?"
Yeah.
Why?
Living in LA and stuff, I'll actually literally be right behind somebody at a stoplight, and they'll throw out a bag of McDonald's.
LA bad, dude.
In the middle of the street. And I'll get out of my truck. I'll walk over. I'll pick it up. I'll tap on the window. They'll roll down the window. I'll throw it in their car and say, "You dropped something." And I'll walk right back to my truck. Get in.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
And what? That's going to happen to me if I don't get you off this stinking podcast from your wife. I promise I'll get you off in 1 hour.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. We're at our hour, Christy, and we have loved this conversation, and we would love to have you back on the podcast in the future if you're willing.
Of course.
Yeah. So keep in touch, and we'll have you back on.
I always talk to Lewis. Oh, tell your sister. Tell your sister. His sister made me my mask, and I love it to death. Oh my god!
I got one too. The Bigfoot mask. The thing is, with my beard, you can't tell I'm wearing it. That one. So.
Wait, that's a hair. What is that one?
Bigfoot mask.
Yeah. That's another Bigfoot mask.
Oh, that's cool. I think that would be too hot though down here.
Yeah, it's hard. I can't wear it all the whole time.
No, she made me one different. She made me one with my Bigfoot that's on my Facebook, and then a moon, because I like the moon with lightning.
It's better than mine. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yes,
I saw that.
Yep, and of course I got y'all logo one. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Wait, he's getting something. Oh.
You guys look the same.
I know. This is Monkey. He's a Brussels Griffin. His name is Monkey, and he's seen Bigfoot. He's seen Bigfoot tapping on the window in northern Idaho. So,
what did he do? He just
he insisted on sleeping with us the rest of the trip.
Ooh.
I would too.
The dog has never slept in bed with us a day in his life, all the way through the night. But after the tapping on the window, he insisted on being right between me and my wife.
I would be there too.
For the you know, so
come over, guys.
He saw what was tapping on the window and left big hand streaks down the window like it was trying to open the window. But
that's scary.
Jesus, Mr. Oscar, that little dog is smart. He hits the bell when he wants his treat. That is so cool.
Yeah, Oscar's Lewis trained him very well. He's always got his spot up there on the desk too during the podcast.
That's
always watching me.
Oscar.
Oh yeah. Come on here.
He's Lewis's supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure Lewis is doing everything right.
I know.
Well, Christy, it has been one heck of an hour, and I know we barely even scratched the surface.
I know.
And we'd love to have you back on.
We'll just schedule it again right away.
Yeah, we'll get you scheduled again, and we'll have you back on and keep in touch and keep going out there and doing what you do because you're doing it right.
Thank
you're
you,
absolutely doing it right. So, with that being said, everybody.
Oh, and make sure you go check out Bigfoot Explorer, right?
Yes.
That's her podcast over there with Scott. Right?
Yeah, with Scott and Jeremy.
Yep.
So,
right. And he doesn't have a YouTube channel. I already tried. Nothing on it.
No, but you know what? You know what? I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about branching off and doing a little thing myself.
You should do it.
I think I should.
Keep us informed with that, and we'd be glad to help you with anything we can.
Yeah.
Yes, please, because I'm gonna call it Foot Finders.
Oh, what is it? What is it? Foot Finders?
Foot Finders.
That's a good one. I like that one. We're changing our name.
That's good. I like that.
That's a good one. All right.
So I want to thank everybody and Christy for coming on the show, and everybody in the chat for joining us. And again, we're here every Sunday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard. And
see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
All right.
Love and blessings to everybody.
Yo.
Yep.
Throw them at you. Bam.